Can you imagine if you created the best app in the world, but if actually no one knows about it? Well,
when I said it crashed, man, I do not mean an accident. I'm still in the studio at 6:45.
What's going on, and welcome back to the Weekflow. This is episode number 37. If you don't know what this is where I take you behind the scenes of my startup, my company, Genflow, and you meet some of my team and what we get up to in the whole week. It's an inside look of what it's really like in a growing business. So I hope you like this video. Make sure you hit the subscribe button. I've been doing this for a long time and it's pretty cool. So this week, I'm going to be taking you through pretty much like what's it been like in lockdown. You know, it's been a year now. Obviously, I'm right here in Dubai, so it's a lot better. But back in the UK, in London, and over in LA, our teams pretty much have been working almost a year now at home, and we still have achieved so much. So we're going to be taking you through the different kind of things we do here and hear from different people, how they adjusted, how they physically get to do all the stuff they do, even though we're mostly at home, and lots of other things as normal going to happen, you know, phone calls, projects, this, as we do. In case you don't know who I am, my name is Shan. I run a company called Genflow. We help creators, which is the new word for influencers now in the whole world. We help creators build their own businesses, essentially. Genflow.com, see who we work with, what we do, you will see. Currently have a team of about 60. We're hiring aggressively. If you want to work at Genflow, check out the careers page. But first things first today, I've actually got to go off to a shoot for a client named Mike Thurston. I'll put up his profile here. He's been a client for many, many years now, and he has an activewear brand and something else very cool coming soon. So I'm going to go over to the shoot and check that out quickly, and then I'll be back here to catch up with the calls and get on with the rest of the work as normal. Should be a good video, and I'll see you soon.
Give me something I can feel. If they come to hit the hills, and I know they know the deal. We just right there up the road. You can hit it with a stone. I be out here on my own. I'm just trying to set the tone. I've been kicked when I was down.
So, just got out from the shoot. Everything seems to be going really well. Mike's actually got his own photographer with him, so it's pretty cool. We're taking lots and lots of photos for the socials, for the website, and for the rest. Also, Amir, who's an amazing videographer, is doing the campaign. So yeah, everything looked very cool. You know, the goal was just to check in and see how the campaign's going. I'm back off now, back to the home office to get on with the rest of the day. But yeah, pretty happy, it's exciting. Obviously the Thirst brand already exists. Now it's time to take it to another level. So lots of new things are coming, so it's exciting. Let's get back to it. I guess in the other interview I took more of a casual approach. I think this one I'll take a bit more of a, let's call it a corporate approach. I think I don't need to talk too much about me or Genflow so much. I'm too used to selling basically, because that's what I do. So I'm always selling Genflow, so I think I'll do less of that. We have some clients that actually now live out here, and some others who've traveled out here. Yeah, so I guess quite a few things. We actually had a shoot yesterday. I'm actually having dinner tonight with another client, and yeah, doing some new acquisition just because it's easy to get to influencers over here. So yeah, not a bad place to be. And it's like 30 degrees, you know. Cool, I guess it'd be great to just kind of give a quick intro to yourself, and before we get into it.
Hey everyone, it's Nate here from the tech team at Genflow. As you can see, we're all still very much in lockdown, but we're still making a lot of things happen. It's been a really exciting few months actually here. We've had some amazing launches. We've also done some pretty cool releases, all from the technical side, all from the app side of things for Genflow. So although we're all stuck indoors, we're still having some great meetings with clients. We're still pushing on ahead with all the plans that we've had for this year. With some really exciting stuff actually about to come out for our clients. We're now really focusing in on the analytics side of things that the apps generate, because you know the user base that some of these apps have is absolutely huge. So actually now we're starting to look at, you know, how the users behave within the app, drawing that information out, and start making some data-led and data-driven decisions based on the feedback and based on the interactions that we see within the apps. Things that we could actually be doing that will improve their lives, that will improve the way that they actually interact with our products and services. You know, it's not just about you know, creating one app and then letting the whole thing just run by itself. No, it's about actually looking at how users evolve over time and how we can also improve and evolve how we approach app building and app designing in a more forward-thinking way. That's going to mean that in a year from now, people are still engaged with our apps, people are still engaged with the brand that's behind the app as well.
When I said it crashed, man, I do not mean an accident. I'm still in the studio at 6:45, and my haters either on their way to work or they arrive. Then I got all the things I rap about just for my pride. You know when it comes to pride, I can't put that shit aside.
So an update from the content team. What is our focus for this week and this month? Well, as we have a lot of app launches, there's a lot of content that goes into that. So for example, even before we get into the promotional side, we need to create and shoot all the assets needed for inside the app. So let's say it's, for example, a fitness app. We need to do the exercise videos, meal images, other images for the app, so it can literally be anything. And obviously me and my team will go out, do the shoot and edit all the content needed for it, and of course we'll then create all the promotional assets after. I think there are about 2-3 app launches this month, so with that we'll of course create a live now, teaser trailers, normally 3 to 5 teaser trailers, as well as product spotlights or highlights, so they highlight the key features of each app, for example exercise videos or meals. And I've said this before, it's the old cliche, content is king. Can you imagine if you created the best app in the world, but if actually no one knows about it, well, it's probably not going to be as successful, and that's where content comes in. And like every month, we have got new products, new launches, restock, so of course we're creating all the content for that, and we have just recently done a really exciting shoot for one of our clients, which is a drop 2. We did a campaign video, we did website images, and of course other social media content that we needed for it. We are in the process of now editing all the pre-launch assets, and obviously after everything that we'll need. So it's great. The website images are nearly done as well, so that's coming together. The team are really focusing this week on our client side, and hopefully as the month goes on, we're also going to try and do some more Genflow campaign and Genflow content. And a strong focus for this week as well as for the rest of the month will be ads. So we have increased our ads a lot. I'll let our head of digital marketing explain that and all the processes and everything, how it's increased. But obviously with that, we have to create more content. Now, it's not just a fact of just recycling content that we've had for the same client. We need fresh new content for fresh new ads for them to be the most effective as possible. So we're working alongside Rob with that. And yes, he can give you some more information now.
So over the last few weeks, Facebook and Apple have been at loggerheads over something that Apple are trying to introduce in the iOS 14 update, where they allow users now to opt in for personalized ads or having their data stored. Obviously, this will have pretty major impacts on Facebook's ability to market, because instead of being able to target all of Apple users, we're now only going to be able to target effectively the ones who opt in. So here's the major impacts that this change is going to have. The first is your targeting. So obviously, like I said, now some of the targeting options are going to be less freely available to all Apple users. So that's lookalikes, that might be some of your remarketing audiences. What I would suggest that you do is get an accurate idea right now of exactly who your target audience is, and make sure that you're replicating that strategy over desktop, over Android, and that might help guide you for what you want to start doing on Apple devices. That's not just kind of their demographics they are, it's also the interests, it's how they behave, it's the sites that they go on. The better you can understand your audience, the less affected by this change you'll be. The second big change is that attribution will change. So previously we were able to attribute on a 1-day post view, 28-day post click basis. That's now going to change down to 1-day post view, 7-day post click. Now this won't have a major impact on your results, maybe a 10 to 15% drop in purchases and ROI, but it is worth clarifying with your clients, particularly if you were looking back historically at results, that your results now aren't going to be quite as good as they once were. Again, I don't think there's too much to worry here. What I would definitely suggest that you do is you have a bit of a review on your ads content, and then you make sure that you're sending out your most effective ads only. The final change is that it will change your targeting likely. So now, not only are you getting reduced down to 8 events that you can optimize towards, you're also now not going to have quite as good targeting and quite as accurate targeting as you were once upon a time. So what I would definitely suggest that you do is that you have a look at your ads and make sure that you're almost starting from square one with your customers. With ads, you're very much targeting new audiences for the most part. So you want to make sure that your ads actually act like that, and that people understand your brand, your concept, and what the product actually does, instead of being as lower funnel with all of your ad targeting and just going after the sale. So that's just one of the major updates. There's some of my best advice. The other big piece of advice I would give you is look to differentiate your strategy now. So as an agency, we're now starting some clients on, ironically, Apple's App Store ads. We do a lot of app marketing, so I'm definitely really excited for this one and seeing how that goes. I'm also looking at Pinterest for a couple of our female-led fitness brands because that's a great market. Pinterest is predominantly female, and it also has real links to some strong ROIs. You've seen things such as being able to save pins on Pinterest of products you love, and also being able to keyword target is really good for if you've got very specific products and brands. So that's a little secret tip that we're looking to introduce. But as I say, I don't think that the changes from Apple, despite seeming very, very dramatic, will actually have too much of a huge impact on your wider business if you get yourself prepared and start putting in some of the best practices now. So there's some other major updates from us at Genflow about what we're doing in the ads world. And one of the major things that I've put as a target this year is to look more into content. So generally we do email content for our clients. We write lots of ad content, but it can be difficult to know when you work across so many different verticals exactly what your audience wants to read and wants to see. Obviously, you can do the standard things like blog content and you can look and rip off other people's content, but we don't really want to do that. We always want to be original and getting the best for our audiences. So one tip I found recently was to use Google's auto-suggest. So auto-suggest pulls data from all Google users. Obviously, it's the most searched for website in the world, and it can actually give you a really good indication of search volumes and what people are looking for. So one thing that I'll do for this industry, say you're looking at denim trends, is you can start asking question words. So what denim, and then you can look at see what Google auto-suggest suggests for you. And then you can easily see lots of different questions that you can start to answer in your blogs, in your emails, in your ads, and you can really get to the heart of what the audience does. So that's exciting. Got 3 or 4 new clients starting this month, which is great. We're also, as part of Genflow's wider hiring, looking for a couple of new jobs in the department. I'm really excited about these roles. I think they will be massive and you'll definitely be contributing to our next stage of growth as a company. So very exciting times here in the ads world.
I'm a beast, I'm a mops. You got video, that you'll be my voice. Them snakes on a plane.
What's up? So it's the next day. The shoot yesterday actually ended up being quite cool. Saw some of the footage, so I'm excited for that to go live. Last night, I've talked about in the last couple of videos is that I'm working on process with the whole team. So I spent about 3 hours on the phone last night with John, who manages our customer service, and essentially, we're scaling the operation fully. We currently have a 24-hour team in multiple places in the world, and how we're going to grow that out. So it was very, very good. Also very interesting is that we probably have double the amount of inquiries and work, but our efficiencies kind of stay at the same level, mainly because we've learned so much about how we work. I believe we run one of the best customer service operations in the world, just because how we use Zendesk and how we have all the things set up. People are not doing it to this level of sophistication. So it's pretty awesome. A lot more that we can do. So it was a good chat. Plus, I'm full steam ahead with the job. So I mentioned before, on the careers page, we probably have about 25 roles. I'm still working on some more. I've been getting lots of applications, lots of amazing people that are applying to Genflow. It's actually exciting to see. So yesterday we had, I think it's like the past COO of like WeWork apply. We've had like so many good people apply that it makes you think that, okay, we're onto something. I've been going through all that, having a lot of interviews. Just like that, busy day ahead. I've got phone calls with some of the team members. I have a call with Nellis later to go through some content process, and then strategy sessions with the client, which is very exciting and what I personally love, because it's the time to sit and think about, okay, what are we going to do from here? Let's look at the numbers. How are we going to grow the business? What are we going to do? All that fun stuff. But it's another day. It is a bit hard at times because now we have to obviously from the funding I have to grow, and so there's this pressure of need to move fast. I'm trying my hardest. Yesterday, it's just been one thing after the other. I enjoy it. Also, new table, just to have the full setup. Rarely is a thing that kind of gets you, you need a good setup basically, if you're gonna sit somewhere and do so many things. Let's get to the day. It's a busy day. Let's go. So, what is the plan today? I'm just looking at your tasks.
Get him to just kind of walk through the app, write down what his expected interactions are. I can then go through and say, okay, well, that's right, or oh, that's not correct. Why is that not working? and then I can actually say this is what needs to happen. I think it's a way of like speeding it up for us.
Alright, so what I was doing there was I had a call with all our product managers. I'm actually working with them right now on the day-to-day basis just to kind of help them streamline job and things they need to focus on. So yeah, it was cool. To be honest, they're all very good and they're all on top of what they need to do. So it was very easy. Right now I've got to jump on a call with Nellis to go through his team's process. Then I got a call with our chairman, and then I have calls, I have an interview, and then I have 2 calls with clients. So yeah, busy day, back to back. Can't waste no time, and gotta make sure I stick to the calendar, otherwise things go sideways. So yeah, let's go on this phone call. Basically, the way review used to be, you know, someone's job description, and across that job description, you basically put in how well they're doing or not. Because ultimately, that's the fundamental thing first, right? That are you doing all the things that you're meant to be doing for us? And is it good enough? So the summary of performance should be against the actual role, right?
It's been a while since you've been on Weekflow. What have the product team been up to in the last month or so? And what are they working on now?
I suppose this space, first and foremost, is what we've been working on for like 2 days. Everyone who works for Genflow is viewing this for the first time. This is what the office looks like now. It's very much a work in progress, but actually we're going to use it for more storage, so there's not stuff everywhere. We're going to, obviously we don't need all the desks, so we're going to slim down some of the desks. You can have more storage, you can have another rail, so you can actually hang samples up. We've got a much larger flat lay area. It still needs much work to be done on it. Make it a little bit more useful. Obviously in lockdown at the minute, there's only a few people coming into the office. Obviously because we're in shooting and manufacturing, we are quite lucky that we are allowed in if needs be. What we've been working on, lots and lots of different launches. We had an activewear launch today. It went really well. It was the second drop for her, and it was kind of expanding out in the product range and lots more stock and lots more SKUs. There was a massive kind of rush over Christmas. We launched earbuds, we launched fuel cakes, we launched lots of other clothing brands. We've got a swimwear launch next week as well, which is really exciting. Also got lots of fitness coming through. Obviously January is really good for fitness normally. Obviously COVID kind of throwing a spanner in the works there, but still seeing really good order volumes. January was really good for us in fitness. Probably would have seen the Shreddy supplements as well. They look amazing now. Much improved the packaging, kind of iterating from the first one. Flavors so good. We've got so much in the works for them, and kind of we're going to production now on the next flavors and the next product types as well. Lots coming soon. I suppose we've moved into wholesale a little bit as well. For fuel cake, certainly protein pancake brand that we're doing with Rob Lipset. Got some really good interest from wholesalers, and each one is kind of significantly increasing their order every time they email me, which is great.
What's going on in apparel at the moment? Tons, as always. The team are working from home, but still, you know, really collaborative, going into the office to get samples where needed. So we've got tons coming in from all over the world, from our different factories. Since we've last spoken, we've had tons of exciting launches, but this week in particular, we had an activewear launch and a bodysuits launch. So that's a really cool one because it's always exciting when a client comes with a slightly innovative concept, something new that's not really out on the market, so it's quite a challenge for the team but it's really cool because we've really pulled it off. It's come off really well. We've also been super busy finalizing everything in China. For those of you that don't know, it's Chinese New Year next week, and that is a time when the factories take about a month, usually the whole month of February, off for the holiday to celebrate and take time with their families, and that means a lot of the workers travel really far away from the factories, so getting everything finalized beforehand, making sure that everything ships, particularly with production but also sampling, is really key, because otherwise we're going to have to wait for an entire month at least to get that. So the team have been working really closely with our logistics team here in the UK, but also in China and in the US, just making sure that we get everything here. Also, just as always, lots of fittings, sample reviews, design work going on across all categories, but we've also got 3 launches coming up next week, so look out for that if you might be thinking of developing products, developing apparel, or launching a brand yourself. Something that's really important is having vision. If you are running a custom fabric, a custom colour, something new that the factory haven't run before, then you might not necessarily be able to get a sample of that before you place an order. If you make a commitment to the factory, then, you know, putting down a small deposit or placing the purchase order, they're going to start developing that fabric for you. At that stage, you might have approved the colour from a really small swatch, and you're going to have to envision what that's going to look like in, say, a whole legging. And I think just bearing in mind that, like, what your vision for the product is, seeing it from a small swatch and envisioning how it will be in the full product, but also remembering that no one's seen that small swatch. That is in your head, and the customer, if it's a commercial colour, is going to love it anyway. Just something to keep in mind, as it can be different for different fabrics, different colours. Anyway, that's all from me. Just a little note to say we are hiring in apparel, so go check out our LinkedIn and see if you want to join the team.
What are you most excited about in the next couple of months?
Growing the team, I think definitely. I think we've done amazing to get where we are, but actually if we have a few more people, and I'm not talking about loads, but a few more people, what level we can get it to. And it's things that I concentrate maybe 10-15% of my time on. Actually, if we have someone full-time working on just that, what we could do with that product or that client or that kind of area of the business. I think we're going to really see the benefit of that. But yeah, and I suppose just to meet everyone else, like there's so many new hires, we're pretty much a new person joins every single day. I've met probably 25 of them, which is crazy.
It's actually crazy to think that it's been nearly a year of work from home now, just because I remember very clearly last year when we were leaving the office to work from home and we thought it was going to be like a month and then we'll be back to the office. I don't really miss the commute, I must admit. Working from home is more flexible to an extent and you have more time. So I actually end up working more than when I'm in the office and having to commute back and forth for like 2.5 hours during the day. Of course, I miss the office in the sense of like interacting with my colleagues and like that face-to-face being actually in an office environment. But overall, I think as a company, we have really smashed through working from home. We've had an amazing 2020 and 2021 is looking amazing already.
Even though it did have its challenges with learning to communicate with the team through Slack and Zoom, I think overall it has been beneficial. I've learned new ways to come up with content from home, online courses to kind of better my own personal skills, and I think we've all come together as a team and worked really hard, and you can see that through the work that we've created, and it hasn't stopped Genflow at all, and we've, if anything, got better at what we all do.
We're still having some really great engaging conversations with clients. It's really exciting to see that the lockdown and the pandemic and everything around it hasn't really dampened the spirits of the clients that we work with. We're finding that people are, more excited and that people are more bought into how we work here at Genflow as a team and how we build and how we execute. So it's really exciting to still be able to kind of have these great conversations with clients and also like kind of talking about the design aspects of things. We're starting to really get into our lane when it comes to how we design and how we build out these apps. A lot of the features that are coming out now are very much things that we've tried and tested and learned and iterated on. And so when we come to kind of a new challenge, we kind of already have the tool set to kind of tackle that challenge and to make, the best app or make the best product that we possibly can as a team.
It's been almost a year that the whole company has been working remotely. What's your workflow like at the moment?
At the moment, we have a new system where we've got a booking session that tickets come in, and then we can see like what tasks are assigned to us and what's the due date for that one.
Mm-hmm.
So we are able to prioritize well, and then we just code and develop based on those tasks. And then usually at the end of the day or midday, we send whatever we've done for review, potential merging, and sending to the app. Before, we've done a daily call actually, like at around 5 o'clock, just to go over what everyone's been doing on that day. And then aside from that, we also had weekly documents to say what we've done for the week.
What do you think one of your favorite things of your role is?
First is the problem solving. It's more of like a puzzle for me. And if something doesn't work and it's supposed to work, where's the missing piece? How do you fix that missing piece? And at the same time as well, it's also a bit of arts. Like when you're designing, how would you best transform that into an app that it looks well on big devices, small devices. So it's really exciting on both arts and logic front.
What are you working on at the moment?
Got loads of really exciting samples coming in. Really exciting once we got back in action after Chinese New Year. Just working from home. So I'm having stuff sent to here or taking stuff when I can from the office back to here. I've got my dips, my swatches, my fabrics, everything I need here.
I'm surrounded by some places from Hanoi. I heard I put it in a spot, you search it told me. My nigga bugging these niggas while it's alone. I heard my know your niggas not friendly like no way. What? We not friendly either, you know way.
Actually, I should be here. Oh, let me show you. you're not ready.
What are you working on right now?
What am I not working on? So right now, Chinese New Year has just officially started, so factories are closed. So all this week, I've been working on getting all of my production finished and in transit so that we can get all these products live really, really soon, like by the end of the month. So that's been like a really key factor. And then we're kind of forward planning now for a lot of our clients, like what new products that we could do for them to launch throughout the next, I would say, 6 months, because it's sample time, you know, design development time and all of that, and I want to be prepared as soon as all of the factories have reopened after Chinese New Year. I want to hit the ground running.
How have you found working from home, team-wise? Has it been difficult at all?
We make a conscious effort to, you know, come together as a team on a Friday or on a Monday to just kind of top line give highlights of the week and what we've achieved. And I think that kind of communication really kind of just cements us and brings us kind of back together. And honestly, there's really no time like to miss somebody, because we are working to launch amazing brands for 2021.
More personally, what are you finding yourself spending most of your time doing right now?
We're on a big hiring push at the minute. Obviously, we got the funding in coming up to 2 months ago now, which is amazing. So I suppose it's the time to kind of really grow aggressively. I'm sure anyone watching this has already kind of been aware of our careers page, but if you're not, please go check it out. We've got so many roles, from certainly my team and product and manufacturing, but also content and kind of ads and tech and everything else. So I think there's like 30 live roles at the minute, so we're going to massively grow. And I suppose in my team in particular, we're going to grow infrastructure. So having more warehouses and having more people around the world to check up on factories and product types and status and finding new factories for us will be so key in signing more clients, but also kind of making sure our current clients are happy and obviously growing with their product range. We're introducing, obviously now we're kind of growing into a much bigger company than we were, and obviously before it was very much startup, where in theory everything I ever did was in my head, it wasn't written down anywhere, standard kind of startup pains. And now we're obviously growing into a much bigger company with more people involved, so it's just kind of nailing down that process and making sure we've got everything documented through different softwares and things. We've introduced loads of different softwares into the business just to make sure that actually when we grow, that everyone involved in that project is up to speed on everything.
It's been pretty much a year now that we've been working from home, working remotely. How have you found managing your team, especially with product, where it's something so tactile?
Yeah, it's been an interesting year. It's been really challenging for the product department. I'm sure anyone kind of watching already knows the challenges we've faced, but I suppose just to highlight that actually factories shut for a good 4, 5, 6 months, and obviously factories that we use in Europe, but also the Far East as well. And obviously when it hit in China pretty much stopped production. So then we had to move things to Europe, and obviously then Europe obviously got hit and stopped production. Then we had to move things back to China. It's been a bit of a nightmare. Obviously shipping got so much more expensive. We're looking at shipping freights the other day. Literally kind of sea freight has got 3 to 4 times more expensive. Air freight at its peak got pretty much 7, 8 times more expensive than it was before. So obviously that kind of took an effect on everything. And I suppose just client comms as well, so it's harder to actually sit in a room and discuss product. Yeah, as you mentioned, it's so tactile and you need to see the sample. It's very hard just to see a photo of it. It's been a challenging year. It's, I think, proved to us that in theory we can work from home if we need to, which is always a benefit. And actually we don't need to be in every single day, although a lot of my team are coming in still, because obviously you see there's so much around who you're reviewing 50 samples, you need to be there with the garment tech or with the kind of size grade or whatever it is to actually try it out and kind of get to grips with it. Yeah, I'm not going to say I'm not looking forward to having everyone back, but it's been an interesting challenge. But actually I suppose what it is kind of proved to me is that actually everyone's really versatile and we can pick things up and do things in a slightly different manner while still growing. And it's amazing the fact that we've grown and pretty much every other brand is dying down because they don't have stock. Actually we were quite fortunate that actually we had things in place to get stock in quicker, or different methods, or because our supply chain and infrastructure is really good, that actually we can speed things along a little bit to make sure that we can capitalize on it. And I think March last year, obviously when everything hit and it was the first lockdown, we had more fitness stock than we've ever had before. We were pretty much the only ones that actually had a really good amount of stock, and yeah, we did an amazing March. Obviously subsequent months was a lot harder to get in stock, but we kind of focused on process and growth and signing new clients, etc. It was such a good time to sign clients. So you're going to see in the next kind of 3-4 months all those different clients that we signed then come to fruition, and it's across denim and hair care. We've got lots of beauty. Toby, our beauty developer, she feels a bit left out because obviously there's not much live in beauty. Beauty is its own beast where it takes so much longer. She's a chemist by trade and has always got in the run of producing and seeing it live. And obviously from here, she's always coming in, starting a division for us and pretty much starting from scratch. It's been a much longer process, but today actually we got the first payment for a big production that's going to hit in about a month and a half.
What's up? So it's Friday, it's almost the end of the week. It's been a crazy week here at Genflow. Again, the focus for now for me personally has been actually building process and system and making sure all the stuff that we kind of left behind, we don't leave behind. For example, I've just worked on onboarding, so when someone joins, what's going to happen now that I've made a full presentation that they'll receive that explains Genflow. We've made a series of emails, documents, and then for the first few days that someone joins Genflow, they'll be going through a full training aspect of creators, influencers, what we do, how we build brands, how does each department work. They'll have a call with myself and some of the other leadership team. They'll have a call with each different department head to understand how the business works. We're going to spend a lot more time just educating and training and speaking to people who join the business at this stage, because so they can inherit our values and way of working and everything else. So yeah, that was pretty good. I'm going to have that live on Monday. But yeah, really good week here.
Quarter to quarter, what is it we're targeting? Because they could go waste a load of time on stuff that might be very viable, but they're the wrong shape right now relative to the plan.
No, I think everyone's so focused on like growing our macros and then also acquiring macros and even acquiring megas. So hopefully today we're about to have the final call. The guys are doing it now with this mega, and that's where everyone's excited. That's the focus, and we are looking for those now. Obviously, at the start of this video, I spoke about it's been a year of lockdown and how that's kind of been, and I guess to summarize it all, we managed to still get all the work done. We progress in so many different things. The challenge is actually obviously mentally for the team, for everyone involved, just because you can do all the work at home, and I truly believe that now. You can easily work from home essentially. However, you do miss the thing of working together. The speed does definitely go down, because naturally if you're sitting with people, you can be like, oh, do this, do that. Someone can be like, can you check this email for me quickly? By the time you do that in Slack, time can go on. I find that you don't ask silly questions on Slack that you would in person. And naturally just being together with the team, we used to have a lot of fun together of just literally sitting together, thinking about stuff, and you kind of can discuss things a lot faster than getting people on phone calls and the rest. So besides that, obviously, the team has done exceptionally well, even growing a team in this phase. But I think the exciting thing here in the UK is that I think around 12 million people have the vaccination now. So hopefully in the next 2 months, I do feel like we'll be in a position to start moving back to work properly. Also, we can start working on the new office and studio and the rest. So yeah, should be good. I'm gonna try my best to record throughout the whole week, starting from Monday. I have been so busy that I just don't pick up the camera and record, and I don't need to do that. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. Hit subscribe, and I'll see you in next week's episode.